Hope for an amicable end to the encampment situation in downtown Kitchener appears to be over. The Region of Waterloo and lawyers representing encampment residents say mediation was not successful. So the two sides look to be heading to court in the new year. CTV's Jeff Pickel live now with the latest on all of this. And Jeff, of course, we should remind people this all stems from a bylaw that the region brought in earlier this year. It was aiming to eventually clear out the encampment for a transit hub on that site.
Yeah, Tony, this was back in April when the region passed the bylaw, but the courts previously ruled that the eviction could not take place until the region could find homes for people living there. This comes as the Canadian Federal Housing Advocate released a report that says these types of evictions are a human rights violation.
It's a location of last refuge for many in Waterloo Region, a vacant lot at the corner of Victoria and Weber Street that's been an encampment for nearly 4 years. It's also been a major headache for the Region of Waterloo, who own the land and say it's needed as a staging ground for construction on the region's new transit hub. An attempt by the region to evict encampment residents in 2023 went to court where a judge found the eviction was a violation of the residents' charter rights. The judge said until the region can supply an adequate housing alternative, the residents can stay. In April of this year, the region passed a new bylaw saying everyone had to be off the land by the end of November. Again, a judge ordered a hearing. The region and lawyers for the residents started mediation to avoid court, but today we learned those talks broke down. The Waterloo Region Community Legal Services say it's disappointed with the outcome of mediation. Extensive resources will now be spent by the region to litigate against people experiencing homelessness instead of trying to resolve the issue. The region says it's committed to supporting unhoused people, including those living at 100 Victoria Street. They say as of December 1st, 2025, 4 of the original individuals who were residing at the site as of April 16th, 2025, continue to reside at the site, and 23 have been supported by the region to alternative accommodations. Despite dozens of people currently living at the site, the encampment bylaw is only concerned with those who were there on or before the date the bylaw was issued. Others who moved in after April 16th did so illegally and can be removed. This news comes the same day Canada's Federal Housing Advocate report was critical of forced evictions.
The forced evictions cause further harm. Everything that I've heard about forced evictions does not have a good end. First of all, they fail to address the root cause.
Houle says the Region of Waterloo has been successful in many of its actions to address homelessness, but says they need more help from the province and feds.
But the solution to homelessness is adequate housing. It costs money, it needs to happen, and it's complex in its jurisdiction, and we need an all-of-government approach for that.
The region and encampment residents will be back in court February 6th to begin 3 days of hearings.
Now, in the region's statement, they made that special mention of the 4 individuals who were living at the encampment prior to the date the bylaw was issued. So certainly it appears that dozens of other people who moved in after that April date do not have the same protections by the region and potentially could be removed without that court approval.
Okay, Jeff, thank you very much. CTV's Jeff Pickel with that update for us.